What is up, everybody? It's me, Troy, and I'm back again with another video, and this is going to be my March Mystery Madness, hashtag March Mystery Madness TBR video that I promised, well, I didn't promise, but you know, that I said I was going to do. Child, let me tell you, it almost slipped away from me because of something getting in the way, but I'm pulling it back together for today. But first, I want to go ahead and say thanks to everybody who recently commented, liked, and subscribed, as well as everybody who decided that they want to participate, you know, here, there, or take on the full challenges for the month of March regarding hashtag March Mystery Madness. So thank you guys for participating and showing up and showing out. Thank you so much for showing up and showing out. And I'm giving y'all some Patti LaBelle finger there. Remember Patti LaBelle used to sing and she'll go like that? Okay, anyway, that don't have nothing to do with this video, so let's get started. So the first challenge is to read a food, craft, or hobby cozy mystery. Now let me tell you, if you haven't found any of these yet, it's so easy to find these books. Like literally, all you have to do is go to any of your bookstores, go to Barnes & Noble, go to Books A Million, and just go to the mystery section, and you're gonna see like a slew, a variety of a Cabbage Patch, I don't know where that came from, of mystery authors who write within these themes. Nonetheless, for me, I decided to pick up the second book in Susan Wittig Albert's. I keep wanting to switch her names right. She got 3 names here. But anyway, I decided to pick up the second book in her China Bales mystery series, which is a cozy series about a woman, of course her name is China Bales, who lives in a small town in Texas. She originally, in her former life, she was a lawyer, and in her new life in this small town, she is now currently the owner of a herb shop. So she cultivates herbs and then she sells them within her shops. So that is really what the theme is for this series, is that she's a herbologist who sells herbs, and people end up getting their asses killed when someone decides to poison them with herbs. That's it. No, but in all seriousness, I absolutely love the voice of China Bales. I think I love her voice for a number of different reasons, but there's one thing that I want to point out, is that what Albert, the writer of course, did in the first book is she made a small nod to Sue Grafton's Kinsey Millhone. I think China was reading the Sue Grafton novel or something in the book, and that kind of, you know, y'all know I'm obsessed with Sue Grafton, so that kind of made me really fall in love with China, because I could see that Albert sort of constructed bits of China after Sue Grafton's Kinsey Millhone. You know, it just, girl, she got in my spirit. But another thing that I really loved about China Bales, which kind of led me to go ahead and dedicate myself to reading this cozy mystery series, besides the fact that the setting is small and syrupy in Texas, I love that sort of duality that China has as it regards being, you know, formerly being, like I said, being a lawyer, and then now owning her own herb shop. So she uses both of those two elements within herself to solve murders. So the second challenge is to read a mystery novel revolving around a person of color in the lead, and you know, girl, you know, that's, I can help y'all out on that. Just go back a couple years and see my Read So Lit video, and you can see everything you need to see to get into the whole vortex of that subject. But I'm giving y'all too much now. I chose to pick up the second book, or I had to order it, of Barbara Neely's Blanche White series. Blanche White is a black domestic housekeeper. Girl, she has a sharp, fiery ass tongue, and I live for it. I live for it. And that is as far as having read the first book. But I have the third book, and there's only 4 books. I have the third book, and I just didn't read it because I haven't had the second book, but I finally ordered it for this challenge, and it is titled Blanche Among the Talented Tenths. If you know the Talented Tenth, that's an essay title from W.E.B. Du Bois. I just love saying his name right there. But basically that essay, well, there's no basically to it, but that essay revolves around Du Bois's perspective of how important education is within the black community. That is highly an understatement of that essay. Now I bring up that essay because that is sort of where Neely is going with the theme of this book. It has Blanche, you know, as I said, she's a black domestic housekeeper. It has Blanche going to an island where she's, I want to say she's upkeeping someone's house, and then a murder occurs, but really the core of it is that on this island she runs into some individuals, or some black individuals or people of color who are of a certain pedigree. They look down upon her, but of course she has to solve one of their murders, and it just plays a lot, from what I'm understanding of the summary. It's going to play a lot with colorism and education within the black community, all underneath the whole trappings of murder. So I cannot wait to get into this book, and I'm gonna fly through it. I can already feel it. Now the third challenge is to read a mystery by the matriarch or the patriarch of crime fiction, and that would be either Agatha Christie or Edgar Allan Poe. Me, of course, I chose Edgar Allan Poe, and this book here is the Kindle version. You're not going to see it because of the glare on the screen, but The Murders in the Rue Morgue, the Dupin Tales. Dupin is one of the very first, really I would say the first detective or amateur sleuth. You know, Edgar Allan Poe was writing crime fiction before it was an actual term, you know, in literature, and I can't wait to reread some of these 3 short stories that he wrote. So that's gonna be it. I think that's gonna be like a little break for me between reading all these books. So the fourth challenge is to read a true crime novel, and as I wrote in my teaser for the challenge, you know, fact is stranger than fiction. Quote somebody, I don't know, quote somebody. But anyway, I've always wanted to read this author, and I'm so hesitant at the same time to read her, because let me tell you what she writes about, girl. I ain't got time to be staying up in the middle of the night with my axe, my battle axe next to my bed and my flashlight in case somebody try to break in. I have to kill their ass, and that would be Anne Rule, girl. Oh Lord. So I chose A Fever in the Heart by Anne Rule. I chose this book in particular because, you know, her books are about this damn thick. Like, I don't have that much time, or I don't have that much of a spirit to be strolling through these true crime novels and getting myself upset in the middle of the night. So I chose this one because it contains a number of cases. So there's going to be some smaller cases, maybe about 50 pages, and I can read maybe about 2 or 3 and then decide if I want to read the whole entire book, you know, as I move further along in my reading journey. But I'm excited about reading. I'm a little hesitant because I was looking like, okay, let me bind this book. Let me bind and rebuke the evil that lies within this book before I get into it, girl. Let me get my sage stick and just go Native American on that ass. But I am excited at the same time to delve into some true crime novels. So hopefully I won't get too upset, because if I get too upset, I might not even read. They might have had a damn book back. I don't know. So the 5th challenge is to read a mystery novel, which most likely is going to be a cozy, revolving around, you know, the paranormal and the supernatural. And I chose the 4th book in Madeline Alts' Bewitching Mystery series. I read the 3rd book maybe it's the 2004. I'll put a link to the review, the written review that I wrote on that book. And you know, I don't know, I just have some kind of connection with this series. I don't like to get on here and say, oh, you know, this is bubblegum breeds and all that kind of stuff. I don't care about this stuff. I just want to be entertained. But I did find a connection with this character, even though she's not all that, you know, aggressive or daring like the women characters that I normally like. But it's just a smooth, easy, cozy read about this woman who's a witch, and she's a witch in a subtle sense, and that's, I think, what I really connected with. You know, it's not about brooms and spell castings, it's more about, you know, psychosis. So the 6th challenge is to read a pet detective mystery. Now I know some people be like, what the hell you talking about, homie, a pet detective? But really, they're conventional wise, they're cozy mysteries where you get the perspective of animals, dogs, cats, whatever outside of a human being. You get their perspective on the murder. So they're using their senses, their talents, you know, their abilities to help their human companions solve murders. And you know, with me, I'm super obsessed with I was gonna do something with Rita Mae Brown. You know, I go in on Rita Mae Brown because I just absolutely love her Miss Murphy mystery series. Like, I just get a blanket and I just cuddle up to that series. That is the standard or true definition of a cozy mystery. But anyway, last summer I wanted to branch out from reading Miss Murphy, and I wanted to read something else by Rita Mae Brown, and I chose to finally pick up her Mag Rogers series, which this is the 1st book. It's only 2 books in the series. I really wish I can give you guys some more information because it doesn't give you much, but basically, with her high-powered Wall Street job in the rearview mirror, 34-year-old Mag Rogers arrives at her great-aunt Jeep Reed's. Her aunt's name is Jeep Reed's sprawling Nevada ranch to reassemble her life. In the passenger seat is Mag's beloved wire-haired dog named Baxter. At Jeep's side, to Baxter's distress, is Jeep's loyal German Shepherd mix King. The growlings are mutual. Then someone pipe bombs Red Rock Valley's pumping station, excuse me, girl, this is not Roto-Rooter, pumping station, endangering the water supply. Deputy Pete Meadows links the sabotage to a string of local murders. In her search for answers, Mags uncovers fascinating history about Jeep's ranch, including an intriguing connection to Buffalo Bill. Drawn to each other, Mags and Pete join forces to solve various mysteries as Baxter and King team up to protect their humans from a growing threat. So basically, this woman named Mags comes from New York, She goes to the Nevada desert to be with her aunt, and someone is pipe bombing the water supply. And so Mags's dog, as well as her aunt Jeeps' dog, which is a German Shepherd, the four of them come together to solve murders in this town. From what I'm understanding, that series, being that it's only two books, it didn't exactly take off, but I'm still curious to see exactly what's gonna happen. So we'll see how this goes, because why they gotta be Jeep though? So as for the 7th challenge, it is to read a mystery novel that takes place in a region or country or whatever you want to say, girl, you know what I'm saying, anywhere outside of your own. I decided to go back to Egypt with Elizabeth Peters' Amelia Peabody mystery series, and this right here is the 3rd book, which is The Mummy Case. And I can't wait to get into this book. I hauled this like a little while ago, but I can't wait to get into this book because it's been over a year since I read these books, and I've held on to this for way too long, and I cannot wait to hear Amelia Peabody and her smart ass tongue come after her criminals. I just live for it. Amelia Peabody is very similar to Martha Grimes, how they write their characters. They're these women of this certain they were both women of these certain statuses who has this wit that is just undeniably sharp, and I just live for it on each page when their dialogue pops up. So they're humorous. These books like these are humorous as well, and also with that, because it is taking place in Egypt, you know, it has that regional mystery feel as well. It is historical fiction as well because it takes place in the 1800s. And as for the 8th and final challenge, it is to read a classic mystery for children, with a child or a preteen lead, you know what I'm saying, something like that. Anyway, I went ahead and did the most classic route that you can probably even do, and that was Nancy Drew. Yes, girl, I know Nancy Drew, honey. I know Nancy Drew. Hey, who else would there's a number of different authors and sleuths I could have picked, but I chose Nancy Drew, girl. Don't judge. Listen, I used to love Nancy Drew back in 8th grade, 8th and 7th grade, because in 7th grade I did about 3 book report projects on my girl Nancy Drew. There was 2 of them that I did. One, it had to do with the spaceship, and one was about a DJ being kidnapped or something. But anyway, I went ahead and chose Nancy Drew, really only because I just wanted to read a Nancy Drew novel. It's been a long time since middle school, and it just seemed so befitting for me to take this opportunity to read something by this old girl, and hopefully she'll give me life. I'm really not sure yet, but she just may. But I was lucky to find this one at the used bookstore because it contains the very first book in the series, which is The Secret of the Old Clock. And then if you flip it, it has the second book, which is The Hidden Staircase. And girl, we're not going to be getting into The Hidden Staircase. No, not this soon, unless the secret clock is off the chain. But I just going to read some Nancy Drew and just see how that goes. You know, I don't mind Nancy Drew. As long as she ain't racist or nothing, I don't mind her. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. That is going to be my TBR for the hashtag March Mystery Madness. I got a good feeling that I might finish all those books within maybe 2 weeks. Hell no, not that, but 3 weeks at least. And I got some backups in mind just in case, because, yeah, girl, there's mysteries everywhere in here that I haven't read that needs to be read. But yes, that is my TBR. I'm going to update those on the Goodreads page, and I encourage you all to do the same also, so that we can all kind of know what we're reading and just share our thoughts on, you know, I picked this, I thought of this, and so forth and so on. And that is it. I cannot wait to get started. Even as I cut this video off, I'm going to get started already with my Susan book, and that is it, girl. I can go all day on this camera. So peace, see you guys later. Leave your comments, questions, and all that other good stuff down below, and remember to always love yourself. As Patti LaBelle says, I mentioned her earlier in this video, but as Patti LaBelle says, be yourself, girl. Be yourself. You ain't gotta be nobody but yourself. I gotta go.
Oh, come on.